Davis? Here. Mr. Clavas?
Here.
Mrs. Pasio? Here. Mrs. Moore? Here. Mr. Root?
Here.
Mrs. Kelly? Here. Mr. Farrell?
Here.
Mr. Wood?
Here.
And Mr. Baseman?
Here.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 6, 2014. It's emailed to the retrospective Courier Post on January the 6th, 2014. I'm going to dispense from regular meetings, and I'm going to swear the officers in because
We'll do the resolution.
we'll do the resolution, so it's all legal.
Resolution 14-145 is a resolution confirming 2014 appointments to the Police Department. Daniel Murray, Police Sergeant, $84,378. William Sampolsky, Police Sergeant, $84,378. Kevin Koika, Police Sergeant, $84,378. And Matthew Wallen as a police officer, 6-month temporary, effective 8/25/14 at $35,000. All the above salaries are prorated for 2015.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Clavas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
We're going to bring the officers up one at a time and swear them in.
That's good. I, the name. You should do better.
I, Daniel Murray,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the
to
same
the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and jointly
and jointly
perform all the duties of,
perform all the duties of sergeant
according
according
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office
and that I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment
to grant provincial treatment
nor seek personal gain
nor seek personal gain
and not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You ready for this, kid? I, William,
I, William Sampolsky,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith,
that I will bear true faith,
allegiance
allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
partially,
partially,
and justly
justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of this office
of this office, Sergeant,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office
that I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment
to grant preferential
or
treatment
to seek personal gain
or to seek personal gain
or advantages
or advantages
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I
I, Evan Quaker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
and will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the state
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
partially,
impartially,
and justly,
and justly
perform all the duties of this office
perform the duties of this office as sergeant,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
And I will not use my office
And I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
to seek personal gain,
to achieve personal gain
or advantages
or advantages
not available to the general public.
to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Going in now
Okay, you're being sworn in because you're 6 months. Start.
Give him a chance.
Okay, please raise your right hand. I
Matthew Woolen,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established
to the same and the governments established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of
office of
police
police
officer
officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office
that I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment
to grant preferential treatment
or to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I want to congratulate all the officers. Please come up. At this time, if anyone wants to go out with the officers and congratulate them, we're going to take a 5-minute recess.
Approval of minutes, may I have approval of minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last.
I second.
Yep.
Can I have a second? I didn't hear him. Reports.
All in favor?
All those in
All in
favor?
favor? Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, we have a report of the fire marshal for the month of August. A total of $2,790.31 was collected in fire fees. There were 72 inspections completed, 130 total incidents, 2 type 1 permits issued, and EMS fees collected in August, $19,761.91. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. For the report of the registrar of vital statistics, a total of $3,206 was collected for death copies, marriage copies, and marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. For the report of the borough clerk for the month of August, a total of $877.80 was collected for various licenses and permits, including dog licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the police department for the month of August. Accident discovery and solicitor fees, $7,053.52. $52 in firearm permits for a total of $7,105.32. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. For the report of the municipal court for the month of July, a total of $11,477.17 was collected in fines. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the tax collector for the month of August. A total of $3,469,886.69 was collected in taxes and $85,493.27 in sewer rentals. That's all we have.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion carries. Communications.
I have a letter from Michael Pagano of DEP regarding the sewage discharge.
I make the motion to receive and file.
I'll second that motion to receive and file.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Read. Receive and file. Committee reports. Finance Administration, Nick.
Thank you. This evening, we filled our positions for the sergeants that have been vacated for almost 3 years, some of them. We also have an officer that was sworn in tonight that is taking the place of another officer that transferred out of our department. We have him for the next 6 months. We'll see how that works out. The borough, we are working on future hiring. I don't want to take away from the Director of Public Safety, but the Personnel Department is looking into what we need to do to hire other police officers to fill the vacancies that we have and other departments. Other than that, I'm going to rely mostly on my report from caucus. Everyone knows what we discussed. If anyone has any questions, thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety, Eleanor Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For the month of August, we had 109 arrests. This is truly outstanding. Our men are working 24/7, and we are making the town safe every day. Arrests year to date, 915. And we only had 22 hours of overtime. The fire department reports that they are changing their, the agency for selling the old apparatus, the 1987. There haven't been any bids with Brindley, so they're looking at Fire Tech. And hopefully between Brindley and Fire Tech, we're going to be able to sell that old engine. Mark your dates. October 9th is Fire Prevention Night, and our fire department is working with the other departments in the area, and it's going to be a wonderful week. They'll be visiting schools, and the annual open house, like I said, October the 9th at the fire station. Of course, everyone is invited. Our men were trained and instructed in engine company operations and drafting operations in rural settings. The training was conducted by Waterford Township Fire Department and overseen by Training Officer Connie and the Beaverbrook staff. We have been a little bit unable to cover 24/7 our ambulance. We have had some changes in the employment of our EMS. Some have been able to go full-time in their jobs, so they can't work on the weekends and nights like they used to be scheduled. We are working with the fire marshal and the deputy chief and Chief Moriarty to fill the spots for the EMS so that we can have the full coverage that our town deserves. And with that, I end my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Eleanor. Public events,
Oh, the resolution? No, the raffle license.
It's at the top, 14.
We're down 11. Basket auction for the GFWC Women's Club. All the paperwork is in order, and I make a motion to approve the raffle license.
I second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Public events, Pat?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The seniors have taken a hiatus from their monthly meetings these last 2 months, and their regular monthly meeting will begin again on Saturday, September 20th at 1 p.m. Meetings are always on the third Saturday of the month, beginning at 1, so if you're a senior and would like to join, come out to a meeting, or you can get in touch with me. The Runnemede Scouting Committee will be holding their annual flea market at the Harry Williams Building on Saturday, September 13th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please come out and support them. Last year, they did a phenomenal job with vendors' participation, which in turn created a great turnout. So if you would like to rent a space for your wares, please contact Jerry at 856-939-5007. On Thursday and Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., you can volunteer your time at Lakeland to help with their greenhouses and watering the plants and preparing for things for the fall. A few weeks ago, I volunteered along with freeholder Michelle Gentick and Chris Waldron, Director of Sustainability, among others, to make a sensory garden, which was a project that was designed by a senior Girl Scout for her Gold Award. It was a great feeling to volunteer my services to help make these gardens so that people with challenges can enjoy the feel, the touch, the smell, the sound that these plants can bring. So come out and spend a couple of hours volunteering your time. The Rutgers Agricultural Society and Chris Waldron, the Director of Sustainability, have some great plans and moving forward. And they also need some volunteers on Saturday mornings to come out and help put together, fix, or paint bikes and prepare them for the town to participate with the Camden County Bike Share. I also have a couple more announcements. This year, there will be no Veterans Parade, but we will have a Veterans Picnic and everyone is invited. It will be Saturday, September 20th from 11 to 2 at Triton High School in the back parking lot. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and refreshments and face painting for the kids. There will also be given flu shots, and that's if you have insurance. Also, Triton Spirit Week hallway decorating will be on Sunday, September 21st, 7 to 8 p.m. And that they will also have community judging. So if you come out and you look at their paintings in the hallways, you'll be able to cast a vote. So come out and see all the hard and talented work that these Triton students do. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Engineer, Bob?
Thanks, man. Hi, everybody, can you hear me? Okay, usually they say they can't hear me, but here we go. We've been working on the side door, it's almost complete. If anybody's been around to look at it, did a great job on it. Putting bids on the Borough upstairs for heating, air conditioning, electric. And through the roads we're doing, I'll get Mark to talk about that, but Irish Hill, we're going to have to wait on that till the spring. Our shared services with Belmar, they won't be able to do it till the spring, so we're going to focus on Washington Avenue, and Mark will tell you a little more about that when he gets a chance. All the rest progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Public Works, Beverly?
Thank you, Mayor. Summer weather is quickly coming to a close, and the Public Works Department has returned to the regular hours of 7 to 3:30. If you are in need of recycling cans, anything like that, please don't hesitate to either reach out to myself, my number's on the website, or reach out to the Public Works Department, and we'll make sure that you get what you need. Leaf season is just around the corner. Equipment's being repaired and looked over so that we can have another successful year. Last year was probably one of the better years that we've had in quite some time. The expected start date for leaf season is October 20th. Of course, that depends on weather. If the leaves start to come down a little sooner than we anticipated, then we'll definitely be on top of it. So again, they'll be using signs to kind of let residents know when they'll be collecting in whatever area they're going to be in, so keep an eye out for the signs. We are continuing to rely on our neighbors to help us with our trash situation. For that, I thank them, and I am hopeful that by the next council meeting that I will be able to say that we are ordering the equipment that we need to get this job done and let the department work as effectively as they can. This is just, over the past 20 months, I've tried to move the department down there in Public Works in a different direction than what they were used to doing. And to be honest, in some ways I was very successful with that, and in other ways I would say that I was not. So collectively, we have reached out to our neighbor Belmar for some assistance to help guide the Public Works Department in the direction that they need to go. During my time with them, I know that they have what it takes to be successful, and they can do it when they're pushed. I'm hoping that Joe Ciano has a very effective department that he takes care of. They are a well-oiled machine. So I am hoping that that will rub off on our department and that we will continue to move in a positive direction. So I urge council, when that comes up, please let's all be collectively on board that we can move in the right direction with that. Property maintenance continues with empty homes. I know that that's a concern for most of the residents, and I know that they are scattered throughout the town. Please understand that there is a certain level of protocol that we have to follow before we can take over responsibility for a house that we have previously not maintained. It's just a line that we have to form before we can go into the property and start to maintain it. And another note regarding the sewer system in our town. I ask all residents, if you have a backup that occurs at your sewer line, that you either contact the Public Works Department so that the sewer department can come out and plunge the line, or you contact the plumber. Do not take matters into your own hands and plunge those lines. That is not an ideal situation. You as a resident are responsible for the sewer line from the curb line back to your home. So if there is damage that occurs by you plunging the line or trying to clear the line, you are responsible for that line. So I urge you, please reach out to the sewer department, contact them, they will come out, they can assess the situation, they have multiple ways to try to clear the line so that there's no damage. And other than that, progress. Thank you very much.
Parks and Recreation, Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, Parks and Recreation officially received the $25,000 from Camden County Recreation Facility Grant. So we're going to be putting that into finishing up the pole barn and some other loose projects down at the RYAA. The Black Lagoon, the company that was hired to maintain the lake, has gave positive reports on progression. It's positive that you are able to see water, and lots of it now, if you go take a ride by the lake. It looks great. And we still have a few more applications in the next couple of weeks. They can't do anything after September, so the next couple of weeks they'll be finishing up what they need to do for this season. We are going to, right now we have the application is being filed with PSC&G for a new electrical meter down there, so we can hook up the fountain with the light on it down there. So we're waiting on PSC&G now, and the rest is progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Michael. Administration, Mr. Wright?
My report is going to basically be related to the sewer discharge from Home Station E that occurred last week. And basically I'll try and keep it short and sweet and informational. This will be our information related to this. Obviously I will request that we public comment at the end regarding it, but this is our response. We're not going to get into a back and forth that we did last week with the Q&A. And if anyone wants to put written requests, things of that nature in, we can go through that process too. But I don't think it's productive to debate back and forth in the manner so last week. That's just my comment. Obviously, council, your pleasure how you handle it. And I will basically recap the press release that was put out. But basically, on August 28th, there was a sewer discharge from Runnemede Public Waste Collection System, specifically at Orchard Avenue, Pump Station D. The pump station failed, causing a discharge of wastewater from 2 manholes in the wooded area nearby, and also from a connection area on a pipe that runs along that area. The Runnemede Sewer Department responded to the pump station report operation and restored operations at approximately 6:18 p.m. on Sunday evening. This was after a member of the public walking through the woods reported the incident to the assistant superintendent. At that point in time, when he went out to the station, reported it to the sewer superintendent as to what was going on, got his instructions on how to handle it. The pumps were put back online, and I think that was at that point in time, that was the specific goal, was to get the pumps operating again and to make sure that the system was doing what it's supposed to be doing. The following morning, representatives from the Borough of Runnemede, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and also the County Board of Health visited the site. They verified that the remediation actions taken by the sewer department staff alleviated any potential hazard to the public. I think that's the other part of this, that at no point in time, were we ignoring the public health. That was the top priority. The first action that needed to be taken was to restore the pumps to mitigate the problem. Based on information from the superintendent, which is mathematical equations based on how much the pumps normally run, how long they were down, it was our superintendent's estimate that approximately 300,000 gallons had come out of the system and entered the environment. It was noted to me by the representative from DEP and also from the assistant superintendent that we didn't have manholes that blew off. We didn't have a break in the line. So basically, it was the better of the materials that was in there. It was great. Basically, there were not any particulates that had come out and needed to be addressed. Also, the DEP reported possibly because of the drought that we've had and the lack of rain, that a large sum of it in his estimate probably went into the actual soil around the area. There's no doubt that there was also runoff that went into the tributaries and found its way to the lake. There was subsequent testing by Fish and Game that came out, and they were monitoring both the stream and the lake. And at no point in time was a hazard raised that there would be a public health hazard. So that's basically how it went down. And you entered into the public record tonight the letter from the DEP. I received today a copy of a report from our emergency management, also from the response that was sent from our licensed operator, the sewer superintendent. Still going through that. When I have a chance to finalize all this information, I will prepare a report to council. But basically, I think that it's important to note that we have to get all our facts. We can't just, and again, if there was a public health hazard, we would have notified immediately the public. Obviously, it's a concern. Everyone's concerned about the lake. Everyone's concerned about the streams, and I'm sure the residents in that area were concerned also. So I just want that to be clear that we have a process, and there was one thing that was noted. I will say that for the record, and the corrective action has already been addressed. That the DEP should have been notified within 2 hours of the event taking place. They have a number to call, and basically it's a clearinghouse for them. Once they get notification, they notify the agencies that need to be involved. There was a delay in that until next morning, and I've been assured that that has been addressed.
Thank you, Richard. Engineering, Mark?
Progress.
Progress?
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
shot because there was 3 items I wanted to get on tonight's agenda, which are there. The Washington Avenue project, we're trying to award that contract to Landmark Construction, and that is resolution 14-139. There was a change order for a time extension only for the emergency generator, that's on tonight's agenda, resolution 14-140. And there was discussion regarding a resolution for this DOT striping of the Black Horse Pike. That's just a formality that has to go, the council has to approve, and that's on tonight's agenda, is 14-142. And Steve was asked the caucus meeting to look into a grease trap ordinance. We provided a sample for you guys to look at tonight and possibly take action on. It's a pretty substantial ordinance that has some teeth to it, and it's to get restaurants to install grease traps so that your systems don't get plugged up and cause problems. And other than that, it's a fun report progress.
Thank you, Mark. Old business? There's no old business? Public comments on the agenda items?
This is the public portion, if anybody wants to speak about what we're going to be voting on the rest of the meeting. This is only the actions we're going to be taking, the next 15 or so resolutions. There will be a public portion at the end of it. Casey, no one?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Joyce, the resolutions?
Resolution 14131 is a resolution awarding the contract to Office Basics, WB Mason and Paper Mart as part of the cooperative pricing system bid with the county. That's all equipment.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Pascal?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
And Mr. Kapotas?
Yes.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14132 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to hold the tax sale for prior year delinquent charges.
I make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Pascal?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Kapotas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14133 is a resolution authorizing the collection of fees and costs from delinquent taxpayers prior to the tax sale.
I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Mrs. Pascal?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Kapotas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14134 is a resolution of,
We doing this?
no, we are not doing this. I received a phone call today from the attorney for the individual, the corporation that's buying the liquor license. They did not get their tax clearance certificate from the state in time for the transfer, so we're gonna have to
This is
hold
for
it
Pete's.
off
This
is for
until,
Pete's.
maybe the caucus, if we can do it. at the
We'll put this
caucus,
on the
whenever they
caucus
get.
if
He
he
said he
gets-
would call me as soon as they have their tax clearance. So you're just going to.
This is just a formality for us. He's got to
Table
get
it.
to the state. We'll table it to the caucus. I make a motion to table.
I'll second.
And then put it on the caucus agenda. So all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 14135 is a resolution for renewal of membership in the Camden County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Kapotas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14137 is a resolution authorizing a shared services agreement by and between the Borough of Runnemede and the Borough of Belmar for vehicle maintenance.
I make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Kapotas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this This resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14138 is a resolution authorizing a shared services agreement by and between the Borough of Runnemede and the Borough of Belmar for the rental of equipment and manpower for recycling collection.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Potts.
Yes.
Six ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14139 is a resolution approving the low bid for the reconstruction of Washington Avenue.
I make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Potts.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14140 is a resolution approving a change order for AGM Electric. This is the generator, it's just lengthening the time.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
That was Mike.
Yes.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Potts.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14141 is a resolution authorizing adjustment of sewer charges. This is a demolition of a house.
I so move.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Potts.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
This is a resolution 14142 is the resolution supporting the no passing zones on Route 168.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Roll, no roll call.
No,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 14143 is a resolution awarding the 2014 towing contract to Bernie's.
I so move.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
And Mr. Potts.
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
And we have the first reading of ordinance, I'm not sure what number it is, 19, ordinance 1419 or 1420, which is an introduction for the grease interceptors / traps. With a public hearing to be held on the 7th day of October, is that when it falls, I believe, first Tuesday?
Yes.
All right,
You are.
I think it's October 7th.
October 7th.
7th, October 7th. At noon, 7 o'clock.
I make a motion to advertise, have a hearing according to law.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
That's a roll call.
Roll call. Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
And Mr. Potts.
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
So, just so, there are just some technical changes in this, obviously you should look at it, so you can see substantive changes. But it's a format from another town, so we're gonna replace ourselves with them. We're gonna eliminate references to an MUA since we don't have one, and we're gonna replace Borough with township everywhere you see it in the ordinance. They're just a little technical thing that you need to look at it for substance.
Is there anything, I looked at it briefly, in our construction code dealing with the installation? This ordinance also talks about new construction. Do we have anything current when new businesses come in? Is anybody aware when a new business comes in? Don't we require that now?
I don't know.
It might replace what was in the ordinance. And we might have to take out what's currently in there.
I don't think that there is
No, I mean for new construction, that's all we built.
now or anything that.
There's nothing that says about us cleaning it, but there is a part in there that says when the new construction goes in, I think you're supposed to put them in.
Right.
I don't think it's
Then
inspected.
we have
It's
the
just-
right to inspect them.
This is giving us that.
That's the ordinance.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure. we get this.
It says more to the current. I have to place your current ordinance
agree, it's only like half a page.
I said, I don't think there's much of an ordinance in
It's
place now.
half a page. This is 24.
Somebody better get his name word.
Yeah, well, what we can certainly do is say that this supersedes any prior inconsistencies.
I didn't say that.
I'm asking.
The current locations would be grandfathered in. Anybody who would do any renovations, remodeling, or reconstruction would be required to update to the new standards that were set. And then those places that currently have grease traps, this allows the sewer department to go out there and investigate and see if they're being cleaned properly. And if they don't, it gives us some teeth to, force them to clean them.
Will they be notified?
Absolutely, yeah, this whole process.
There is a process of notification.
Yeah, and there's a mechanism to test if there's too much grease being sent down the line. It's a lot, I know it's a lot.
All right. Who does the testing?
Sewer. It's not. But hopefully this helps alleviate some of the extra grease. It's good like
Yeah.
Joyce, is ready for it?
Say it loud.
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Hacia?
Yes.
Mr. Cottage?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell? And Mr. Lee?
We do this every month. We do it every month.
I move that we pay the bills. The good and welfare portion of our meeting. Anyone wishing to speak, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Thank you.
Al Colasano, 31 North Oakland Avenue. Just a question. The resolution, no passing on the Black Horse Pike.
You want, just let everyone,
It's just a formality that DOT has to do. It's currently that way, and it's just a formality that they have to do.
Oh,
The
I
borough got a letter from DOT asking to pass the resolution, and it just keeps the striping the way it is right now.
not that they would give us an opportunity to change it, they just wanted us to say that we agree with they're telling us they're doing.
Oh, okay.
It's just restriping it basically, and just keeping it the way it is.
I thought we're having.
No, no.
changes.
No.
It'd be nice to have a left hand right at Clemens Bridge on the Black Horse Pike, but thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dave Evangelist of 587 Sherrington Lane, president of the RGSL softball league. My treasurer dropped off an envelope for borough treasurer for $2,500 stipend. We haven't received it yet, or wasn't notified about it. I also wanted to talk about.
Are you asking, you haven't received your allotment this year?
Correct. Also talked to a few of these earlier this year, opening day, about getting some help down there, trying to do some renovations to the field and all, and I just wanted to put that on record. If there's any extra money, that instead of like going to the RYA for a pole barn or anything like that, and I know they need it, and that's finished, but we'd like to do some renovations down there also. The RGSL is run by, it's like 6 people. We do all the field meetings ourselves. I just mowed the lawn myself yesterday. We need some help on that too.
Well, David, as you can remember, when I met with you guys, the whole issue and what the RYAA did is they stopped taking the stipend, the $6,000 stipend, and we took over maintenance of their property. You guys didn't want to do that at that time.
No. What happened with that, Mike, was you were promised that there were going to be crews coming down there and take care of leaf removal, stuff like that.
They did. They came down when you guys requested it. They
Okay,
came
that
down.
was well after this meeting. We had this meeting, and I approached you guys, and I offered the opportunity, said we want to get back together, we want to make Runnemede softball come in with the town of Runnemede. And what I approach you guys with is, don't worry about the stipend anymore. If you got something that needs to be done, you come to the town of Runnemede. You come to us, and we do whatever we can do to get things done.
Okay.
But
Now,
you still have the choice to take the 2,500, and we still can help. And even the pole barn that Mike's talking about, obviously, I think we've already said that this could be used for anybody in the borough. I mean, I'm assuming the old girls would come up and use it also, because it's going to be open to everyone, all the organizations to use it, from soccer, softball.
it's not the RYA.
It's not the ROI, that's to make that clear, you know.
Well, I just want to make it clear that when we had this discussion, like, we gave a list, of stuff that needed to be done.
Yeah, we saw it.
Okay. And when that list,
But you still want the stipend, and you want us to put lights up in your facility. That's what was on the list. And he asked me to do one thing with the water runoff from the basketball court. I did that. Well, nobody contacted me. I performed a function. I'm assuming it worked, because nobody ever contacted me and said, Mike, it's not working.
Dave, can I have 5 minutes after the meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, why don't we, after the meeting, because, I think that this council has shown that we want to do things for the recreation department. We've created a recreation department, which we really didn't have before. And you know that we're trying very hard to change things. I think that the questions are, what Mike's trying to point out is, what can we do? He inherited a lot of different things that we're working on. And so I think that the girls softball is definitely something that we will continue to help. But let's, if you got 5 minutes here.
Hi, Rebecca Neefus, 629 Detmar. With the breach of the pump station, we face as a borough a $50,000 fine and $15,000 for each day that the DEP wasn't notified, according to the article in the press release. So what is the provision? Is that the sewerage department's responsibility? Does it come out of our sewerage dues? Or is there insurance for this? Or how would that be paid, that potential $65,000?
Well, can I I'll just briefly enrich you. Right now, we don't have the fund at this point.
Okay.
And the DEP is very satisfied with our response, both from the sewer department and from our administration to do that. So at the point, the reason I'm saying this is because I did speak to them, and we've done everything they've asked us to do, even this scope to start to fix these things. If we do have to do pay a fine, it'll be very clear that where the money's coming from. And
So do we know where the money's coming?
We're just doing our due diligence now.
Okay.
It would come out of sewer utility.
And it would come out, you're right, it would come out.
So there wouldn't be an insurance,
That would not be.
but you couldn't file an
We could
insurance?
apply.
Okay.
My understanding is that I don't even think we would meet the threshold even if we were that.
Okay.
So, because we have a $2,500
And they have how many days
for.
for a fine, to issue a fine? Most regulatory agencies have these,
They,
90 days,
right.
60
Well,
days.
we had until the 5th of September to respond.
Okay.
So, and we have made that response.
So it's still in the process,
Correct.
that's what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Gosling, 499 Lakeview Drive. I'm here on a safety issue. I'd appreciate if someone could look into a bottleneck. When you're coming up Center Avenue to 3rd Avenue, right there between 3rd Avenue, you have Orchard Avenue, you have the school, you have a stop sign at Orchard, you have a stop sign at Center. I'm sure you're all familiar with what I'm going to talk about. It was 5 years ago when we had cars that were small. Everyone seems to have very big cars now. The problem is you have cars parked on both sides of the street, and you have cars trying to come down 3rd Avenue, go to both school, and you can't get cars through. Is there any way that they could make no parking or no parking to the corner? You have 3 houses right there. I'm talking Center Avenue, coming up to 3rd and Orchard Avenue. You only have 3 houses there, but it is extremely congested. I'm sure Officer Daly knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about? Cars coming up Center Avenue, they're stopped at the stop sign. Cars trying to come down to the old school. when I talk about safety, I'm always worried about the children who are trying to cross there with the crossing guard. It is a really, really bad situation, so if someone could look
Is
at
there a
that.
way on the right-hand side that we could say there's no parking in front of those houses? All those houses over there have
Exactly.
driveways.
They all have driveways.
I will investigate it, and I'll give you a written response.
Parking every bit of curb.
And you're saying up to the stop sign, you're saying the
Well,
stop sign?
no, I'm just saying, you know
I know
exactly.
exactly, right there
There's
where
three
Simpson
houses.
comes out and Center comes together, as you come around that, the
There's
stop
three
line is back.
houses
There's three houses.
on the left.
Exactly, have no parking on that, right there.
I understand what she's saying, and
Exactly.
I'll investigate it. I'll give you,
Yeah, let me know.
I'll issue a written response.
And then we can do what we need to do, just do it all.
I appreciate
I will issue a written
Right.
response.
Because where I live, for a couple of years.
I know exactly where you're at.
And I can say I had 3 accidents.
That's a big intersection.
And
That's a
it's
bad
a
design.
weird setup because the stop line is back
Right.
farther.
It's a
on
bad
Simpson.
design.
It sits back.
You know what I'm talking, thank you.
I live right around the corner, so I know
I didn't
exactly
even
where
call on council, I was going to call Michael because I knew him, and I thought, well, let me come to the meeting and present it to everyone, so I appreciate it.
If you need Mike's cell phone, we can.
I would agree with you.
Worried about an accident.
I sat in that traffic many times.
You know exactly. See, now that I'm retired, I have too much time and see all these safety issues in town, but living here all these years now, I'm seeing them.
Let me know, Paul.
Thank you so much. I
I'll give you a
appreciate
written
it.
Yeah,
response.
let me know.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
One second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.